Hello and welcome. I'm geoenvironmental atmospheric forecaster Andrew Fleck, and what we're going to base this video off today is some of the forecasts that we have for this upcoming Hurricane Sandy. Others have referred it as the Frankenstorm, while even a few more the Superstorm. But as many variables come together, we call this the perfect storm. That's right, snow on the western end, lots of rain and wind on the eastern end, and coming together forms that very great perfect storm that is very rare for this area of the region, for especially this time of the year. Again, here's the center of Sandy down here, still about 500, 400, 500 miles off the North Carolina coastline. By Monday and Tuesday, the storm's going to wrap around from southeast to northwest and probably affect the landfall somewhere around the central to the southern tire of the state of New Jersey. We are watching that, but this system being as far as it is from the coastline, look at all that moisture ahead of it throughout the inland and coastal locations. That's where you see those brighter colors. Already the moisture is moving inland, and this is impressive for such a storm as Sandy is. It is a hurricane. It does have winds of 75 miles per hour and gusts even up from 90 miles per hour to even above that. And so as winds at right now keep it moderate, but as waves begin to, along the coastline, begin to rattle a little more, those boardwalks and those coastlines, what we do think is conditions are only going to deteriorate more, and this, of course, begins being very much made known by Monday and progressing throughout Tuesday. Given the size of this storm, given the intensity that it may produce, folks, this is no very quick hitting and leaving storm. This will be here for a while. This will be here for the early half of the week and even by midweek, and we're going to have to brace for that. Folks living across the rivers and mainstream creeks, you may need to take some precautions in case of flooding. Those who are always and have always been of a threat to winds, you might want to bring some of that furniture out from outside on the patio back into the garage, or take some of those flags off your flagpole and keep them inside until the storm has passed. This will wreak some damage for some locations, whether it's coastline or inland. Again, it's a very large system. Its wind field is very large, and effects will be made known over a very large scale location from the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, and northeast. So let's go ahead and look at our track forecast that the Geoenvironmental Atmosphere team has come up with as of Sunday evening. We do have by Monday morning or about Monday evening, we're basically deciphering, given the pace and the size of the storm, if it comes in a little early or a little late, or in between of that. But as of right now, our first call is the storm being off the New Jersey coastline, the east coastline, at about 100 to 200 miles by Monday morning or afternoon. It would still have the intensity of 75 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour. That's classified as a hurricane. And then by Monday evening or even early, very early Tuesday morning, it would be a hurricane or a subtropical system, but still exhibiting enough winds to support hurricane force, being 75 to 80. That would then make landfall into New Jersey. Now, that's either late Monday night or that is early Tuesday morning, but the effects will be made known whether it's a subtropical storm or a hurricane. And so that would be either within that corridor from Cape May, Long Beach Island, all the way up to Point Pleasant. Between there, I think the landfall is going to make itself known, and we need to basically alert you of that. And so that if you live across those locations, to be and brace for and take the appropriate evacuations. From then, Tuesday a.m. throughout the second half of Tuesday, the system then travels into Pennsylvania throughout the central to eastern lying areas. Still a tropical storm and winds of 60 miles per hour. And then, of course, by later Tuesday, Wednesday morning, system begins to move throughout northern Pennsylvania, New York as a tropical storm still, and of 40 miles per hour. Again, large, widespread wind damage is likely. The system will approach the New Jersey coastline with winds such as hurricane force and still have strong tropical storm force well inland from the coastline. And you can imagine the size, as we just described, all those ingredients coming together makes for a perfect storm and one that's going to sure enough wreak some havoc for many living across the state of emergency locations where schools have been canceled for a few days, and even some work companies and other industries. So the next thing we'll show you is the actual effects that the system as far offshore as 500 miles has already brought to the coastal states such as Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey. This is actually a rainfall map. You have obviously the white gray, that's where some of the heaviest rain is, or has been reported the past 12 hours. Some locations already up to 8 inches. But a lot of that rain is receding further north, and now the under the gun for Monday and Tuesday will be Delaware, will be more of northern Maryland, and back toward northern and central Maryland through southern central Pennsylvania and New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. As of the latest rain that has come in since of Sunday night now exists from over across eastern Maryland, and up through Bucks County, and Berks County, and New Jersey, and in Pennsylvania, as you guys already, without the storm even approaching 200 miles from the coastline, but yet 500, already have seen about 1 inch to 2 inches, and those numbers are going to go up. You can believe that by later Monday into Tuesday. In fact, we do have a rainfall map out here. We do have to make a couple adjustments. Obviously, the pink is where some of the heaviest rain is going to be felt, 8 to 10 inches plus. We were showing reports of that down toward southeastern Virginia and southeastern Maryland. So the next adjusted map will put more of that down to those locations. But yes, we do have 6 to 8. That is still valid for much of Delaware, parts of New Jersey, and back toward south central Pennsylvania. As we move further north and away from the centered eye as it makes landfall, that's where we expect 4 to 6 inches. That's still a lot of rain, folks, and that will cause some flash flooding, some of those leaves in the gutters on the side roads. It's not a very good combination, and so even 4 to 6 inches, yes, quite a bit of a number away from your 8 to 10, but that's still going to cause you some flooding issues. Back toward the rest of Pennsylvania and further away from the centered eye of Sandy, still 2 to 4 inches. And this rain will come down very hard. It will come down very quick. And so whether it's a quick 1 to 2 or quick 2 to 4 inches, that's still going to cause some flash flooding, and we're concerned about that. You know, folks, this isn't just a regular, very open storm. The winds aren't bad, but when you combine even some of those moderate rain bands that do come through, the winds will be what brings that rain from sky to surface very quickly, and so it will take long for 1 inch to amount, or even 2 inches. Imagine what 8 to 10 inches can do. And so we're very much concerned over that whole entire highlighted area, especially from the yellow on in through the pink, back obviously more toward the New England locational regions, those states, Massachusetts and further northeast. There's a little pocket of 2 to 4 there we might expect, and in and out there's 1 to 2 possible. But you know, for you guys, I'm not so certain it's the rain, but as much as it's the wind. The wind, I think, will be the predominant issue here, especially for much of the entire region. But the rain is really going to follow where the center goes, and that, of course, is in that pink, red, orange, and yellow. So that's our rainfall forecast, and that has been valid of this evening, Sunday, and by Monday we will update those totals and update those placements so that you have the most accurate information and most up-to-date accurate information possible. The winds, as we've talked about, that will be the issue. And it doesn't matter whether you're on the coast or whether you're in about 200 to 300 miles from the coast, you're going to experience tropical storm winds to even gusts up to hurricane force. Again, in this darker purple, we have winds of 30 to 50 mile per hour. That could be sustained at times, folks. And then, of course, those gusts, 75 plus, coastal, very, very good chance for 75 plus to occur, even up to 90. I would not be surprised if a report out of there. But even the further west you go inland, 30 to 50 mile per hour, 65, 60. Not quite sure of 70 there, but certainly we're not going to leave that out of the question. Of course, we go even westward throughout upstate New York, western Pennsylvania, winds still being felt sustained 20 to 40 miles per hour. gusts 50 potential. This is a very big system, as we have refrained, and this is going to cause a lot of outages, and it's going to cause a lot of havoc for many living across the region. And this is why we continuously bring you those hints and tips of taking precautions and evacuations if need be. We have talked about the rain, we have talked about the winds. Folks also living along the coast, you need to be careful, you need to watch out. Those who have beach houses or those who've just decided to ride the storm out, please, if you need to leave, if you need to go to a shelter, take those steps. The Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the coastal locations, you guys are not always known to experiencing such a very impressive and mammoth storm such as this. And so we want to make sure that you're safe and taking the appropriate measures. So that's what we have here for our late Sunday and early morning update. We hope that you follow Geo-Environmental Atmosphere for future Nowcast updates, as those will give us the latest of every hour to perhaps every 3 hours of where the system is, its intensity, and its track. So you can follow our website and continue to follow our website at geoea.org, and our Facebook page. You can find us, Geo-Environmental Atmosphere. We're very interactive on this page, and you can interact with others around you who have the same questions and concerns. So for Geo-Environmental Atmosphere, I'm Andrew Fleck. Have a very safe and cautious start to your Monday.